Hello everybody, welcome back to my gaming review. I am super tired because I have gotten not that much sleep. I've been awake since 6 o'clock yesterday, so I'm probably going to have to sleep after this video because I am very tired about the fall. But I want to talk about the PlayStation 4 for a little bit. Sony is actually still selling PlayStation 4s in stores, online, and also at places like GameStop and Best Buy. And I saw some videos online on, you know, people saying why are Sony still selling the PlayStation 4? Now, I think it's pretty simple why the PlayStation 4 is still being pushed by Sony. It's because the PlayStation 4 is one of their best-selling consoles, and the PlayStation 4 is still, in my opinion, a very great console, and Sony probably has a ton of them left over, so they're probably just trying to push out the last batch of the PlayStation 4. Now, some people might say, why would someone buy a PlayStation 4 when it was the PS5? Well, the PlayStation 4, in my opinion, is still a great console to pick up, even if the PS5 is out. I think the PS4 is still fantastic. You have many great exclusive games. You have, the PS4 Slim, which is a very fantastic system. And of course, the PlayStation 4 could play pretty much all the new games that are coming out. There is some PS5 games that would be exclusive to the PS5, but most games that are on the market are still on the PlayStation 4 system. So, there's probably people out there who are buying, PlayStation 4 consoles for their kids. Maybe they find a PlayStation 4 that's has like a good deal with it that comes with a game, and the parents are like, oh, I'll buy my kid this instead of the PS5. And honestly, I don't think anybody would be angry to own a PlayStation 4 over a PS5 because at the end of the day, the PS5 and the PS4 have very little difference, in my opinion. Now, my sister has a friend who owns a PlayStation 5. So, little while back, my sister's friend brought his PlayStation 5 over, and we played on it. Had some fun, played some Doom and all that. But the thing I noticed about his PlayStation 5 is that most of the games on his 5 are just PlayStation 4 games. And it took me literally no time to just get used to the controller and just hop in and play because at the end of the day, the PlayStation 5 and PS4 are very similar consoles with very few differences. If you want speed for your PlayStation 4, you can buy an SSD. It's not that big of a deal. And I think it's actually pretty cool that Sony is still selling PlayStation 4s in stores and stuff. And if people, can't find the PlayStation 5, hey, you have options. You got, the PS4 Slim, and you have a PS4 that comes with the brand new Call of Duty Modern Warfare game, which I don't think is that bad of a deal. So, anyway, I just want to make a quick video on PlayStation 4. Sony is still selling the PlayStation 4 system, which I think is pretty cool that they are. And I think it's not really a weird thing for Sony to do, because they were still making games for the PlayStation 2 and still selling PlayStation 2 consoles, like, way into, like, the PlayStation 3 era. So it's not really, like, a weird thing for Sony or any game console company to still be pushing out their old, hardware. Yes, obviously one day, probably soon, they're gonna stop selling the PlayStation 4 at stores, and when PS5 becomes more available, then you're gonna see the PS5 at Best Buy, GameStop, all over the internet, and you're gonna see less PlayStation 4 consoles. You'll see them used, but you're probably not gonna see them brand new in the future as time goes on, as Sony pushes the PS5. But for right now, the PS4 still a great console to buy and pick up, and I don't think it's a big deal that Sony is still pushing out the PlayStation 4 hardware. Again, it's probably like the last systems that they're pushing out. They probably have, who knows, like a couple million left, 1,000 left, I don't know. they were still actually making PlayStation 4s in 2022, so I can imagine they still have a bunch. And when PS5 wasn't really too available to people, they actually started to make more PS4s because people couldn't buy a PS5. So there probably is a lot of PS4s still out there that, you know, that need a home and need someone to buy them so they can actually get used. And, you know, honestly, I have 3 PlayStation 4 systems, so I'm not going to buy a new PS4 anytime soon. But I definitely would, probably, honestly, you know. I love the PlayStation 4 console. I have my huge digital collection on my PS4 systems. I have like 3 different PlayStation 4 accounts. I have a bunch of controllers, so, you know, I still use my PS4 every single day and night. You know, is PS5 really a console I want to get? Probably not, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, the 8th and ninth generation, there's not that much of a difference or change. And the 8th generation is still the modern generation, you know. Um, Even going into like PlayStation 6 in the future, or the next era of gaming, the PlayStation 4, in my opinion, would never feel like a retro console. PlayStation 4 has amazing graphics, and it's still just a great console with a whole bunch of amazing exclusives. And I think there was still a lot of reasons to own a PlayStation 4. You know, exclusives, you know, amazing games. And it's a very reliable system, and the PS4 controller is still a very fantastic, amazing controller to still use to this day. So, but anyway, I'm in the video. This is just a quick video on Sony, you know, still selling PlayStation 4s and pushing out the system. Some people think it's weird, or some people have like said like, why is Sony doing this? It's probably because these are like the last batches of PlayStation 4 consoles, as well as it's a great budget console. And it's a good system for people to just kind of like pick up if they're just looking for something to play. But anyway, I'm in the video, so peace out.